Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. Gentlemen, aspiring gentlemen, and of course, our partners that hold us down. Welcome back to Season 7. We are in the final episode of this magnificent season, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Now don't worry, it's not always about suits and bow ties, but as you know, it's about real-life lessons that truly translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. Thank you again for taking this journey with me. My final guest for this season, my 13th guest, is the one and only Lelan Abraham. He is an IT professional and cybersecurity analyst, and of course, you know him from IConnect, as well as the famous and very enjoyable night spot, The Attic. We're going to talk a lot about his journey as an IT professional and cybersecurity analyst, but most importantly, his foundation and support. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Brilliant Hands and Minds tutoring services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. As promised, I am honored to be joined by the cool, calm, and always collected, the one and only Lelan Abraham. Lelan, thank you so much for coming. And
Thanks for having me here, man.
You're most welcome. So when I say cool, calm, and collected, we've heard that phrase quite a bit, but you truly embody that. Nothing seems to bother you. Who is Lelan for persons who may not know?
Lelan is a real outgoing person. He always stayed true to himself.
Okay.
No matter what the situation is, the circumstances are, I try to remain grounded, stick to my values. I don't really let anyone, change how I react to certain situations. Try to keep in control of my emotions, which is one of the main things of being a real man to me. Being able to control your emotions in certain situations. I mean, at the end of the day, not all of us are perfect, but I feel as though the main thing that makes me Lelan are my flaws. Like, I really embody my flaws.
Okay.
So that, and because as I said, we're not all, perfect beings. So once you, understand what your flaws are, identify your flaws, that's when you can, be a better version of yourself. And that's why I stick to myself every day. I try to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday.
Awesome.
So,
I love that you highlighted that there are flaws. We might not see it, of course, because for me, there's a misconception, even when it comes to the art of a distinguished gentleman, there is a bit of a misconception where persons feel as though perhaps the guests are perfect. And perhaps on even in my self as a host, it's one of the things that I always push in there. No, we're not perfect. There's not a perfect individual.
Yeah.
But I love the ability for you to use those flaws and better yourself. I want to talk about your profession as a IT professional and a cybersecurity analyst. How did you even get into that field?
Well, starting out when I was young, I always had a skill for problem solving. So my mom and my dad, they used to buy me the Lego sets and stuff, and then I would start building it. Then to the point where they started to be like, well, it doesn't make any sense because it's so easy for me. Then I built a hobby for having technology and being in that field, and just wanted to know how things work. And then it developed where my older brother Kyle, he's into IT, so he's a computer forensics professional. So he does criminology, cyber forensics, computer crime, cyber crime, stuff like that. And I found that interesting as well. Um, so when I started, doing my research and everything, that's when I realized, okay, well, this is something that I enjoy, and I had like a couple internships with certain companies, really good companies as well. And I worked for the government here for a while during my young tenure, and it was good. It was good, and I that's what really developed me to actually like start building a field, going through the IT field and building a profession in it.
Exciting.
Yeah. Um,
Okay, so when you look at, because you do have a company that's iConnect,
mhm.
tell us about iConnect.
So my mom and dad, they started up IConnect as an internet cafe and gaming center.
Okay.
So the youth could come play games. People used to come in if they have work to do
Mhm.
or you need to print something. That was there. Unfortunately, after Irma, it was destroyed and like a lot of the equipment got damaged and
Understood.
stolen and stuff. So it was trying to decide whether we're going to build it back or not. I mean, right now we're like we still think about it to this day if we're going to bring it back. So I wouldn't like rule it out
Understood.
that we're like fully finished with it, but at the end of the day, there is still a business that we still manage and try to keep it going and try to bring it back within the community.
Well, what would you say is, based on your analogy and your seat, what are some of the major challenges when it comes to the cybersecurity world?
The main challenge, any IT professional will tell you this, it's people. that's
Interesting.
that's the main challenge, people. Because at the end of the day, humans are the number one factor why cybersecurity is in place.
Correct.
Like say for instance, you got your email, you work for a company, the company says, well, we want to enforce, multi-factor authentication, which is basically you authenticating, so you have a password, it sends you a text to verify that's you, it sends you a verification email to verify that's you, stuff like that. Some people will be like, oh, this is too much. I don't want to do this and that, or they don't like, or people that don't like even want to have any, technological, how I could say, like a technological mind,
Okay.
where they refuse to learn about technology.
Got you.
And that is like one of the biggest things right now that I would say my profession that I'm having is that people just refuse to learn and adapt, and technology is just getting more advanced and more advanced and more advanced. And the way how at the end of the day, technology is there to make everything more easier for people to use, make stuff more easier and more accessible. But at the same time, when stuff gets easier, it gets more vulnerable.
Of
It
course.
makes you more
That's why we
prone
need
to
you.
attacks.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So for my profession, I try to like harden down on the security, making sure that your systems are safe, your emails are safe, your information is safe, because that's the number one thing right now that is happening with identity theft and just like cyber crimes. People are just stealing like people's identities, their bank accounts. Once you get a certain amount of information, I could literally pose a threat and jeopardize your life.
Understood.
Yep.
Understood. Awesome. Well, I want to congratulate you because not only have you, and obviously over the years in the evolution of technology, the need for cybersecurity analysts and IT professionals has increased. But being one of the younger professionals, you have definitely solidified your name in that space, in being a true professional within your craft. You are the general manager of not only iConnect, but the Attic, one of the cooler spots to hang out. Tell us about the concept behind the Attic.
The Attic started up, my dad and Ronan, they had the whole idea, talking about, well, they both like to drink alcohol. So when I have a space where they're comfortable
Safe
drinking
space,
alcohol, yeah, and like-minded individuals as well. And then I got involved because they were like, well, at the end of the day, they need to have somebody who's like the face, and they chose me, and I'm really interested. I was really invested in it, and I liked it to the point where they put me in charge and told me, okay, well, Lelan, you run it, you take it to the next level. And and it's been going on up from there, and I really enjoy it. I wanted to say, thank you to all my customers, because without you guys, there wouldn't be any Attic. And without, my bartenders as well. Shout out to you guys as well. You guys are the best team that I could have. Like, shout out to my Attic team, man. I love them so
Awesome.
much.
What is the most enjoyable part for you in being the general manager of the Attic?
It's the fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fun. Like, I would always say there's no place like the Attic. Like, you come up there, no matter what time of day.
I agree.
You don't even know what's going on outside, because it's like just secluded.
Yeah, you're shut up.
Yeah, you just literally shut up. Yeah, you're just inside. You just, it's a very intimate space, and it's never like any bad vibes going on. It's like always fun. We have the karaoke. We have, people just coming up and want to drink, talk. It's just a really nice, chill out spot that you could just, do whatever.
And you're an excellent host, so kudos
Thanks.
to you and your team, of course.
Thanks.
I want to talk about because part of being a distinguished gentleman is being surrounded by like-minded individuals who help to build you up. And for me, in observing you and your family lineage and that strength, that is definitely something that is admired. Your very strong family roots, but most importantly, your relationship with your father. It's interesting. I know it's a father-son relationship, but at this point, it seems like brothers, right? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, he has definitely, along with mom, of course, played impeccable role in the person that we know to be Lelan today.
Yeah.
Tell me about that relationship.
So, I mean, my dad is like one of the best like men that I knew or know of. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's my like role model. That's my, support role. To the point where like our relationship, as you said, is like brothers. Like people see us out, I would go anywhere with my pops. At the end of the day, it's like, it's hard to, because there's just a lot of emotions there. But
it's fine.
Yeah, but he's like, that's my like brother, my friend, my best friend. That's like, that's one of my bros. Like,
amazing.
Yeah, and that's my dad. You understand? Like, it's a certain level of respect that we both have for each other, and I feel that's where it started. Like, we have that level of respect for each other as men, to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, you're my son. Yeah, I'm his son. Or yeah, that's my dad. But it's like, we respect each other first, so that we could break down that barrier and treat each other respectfully, and how we want to be treated from each other. That's the kind of connection that we have there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he's like my, no offense, mom, I love you so much.
But that's your guy.
Oh yeah, that's my boy, man. That's my boy.
What would you say is, I'm sure you've learned many lessons from him, but if you have to think about one or two, what are some of the major lessons that perhaps he has passed on to you?
I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. Definitely like some serious virtues like patience and wisdom. Learning when to stay quiet and when to speak, when to listen, when to understand, stuff like that. I really, really learned a lot from him. Tolerance, when to just, say, okay, well, I need to do this for now until, I get to a better space. Stuff like that, man. He's like, and I always tell him that he needs to write a book. I always tell him that. I tell him that all the time. He needs to write a book, because if you understand where he came from and where he is now, it's life-changing, man.
Beautiful.
Life-changing.
What would you say to your dad? I'm sure that because you guys communicate very well, but if you could say one thing to him, what would you say to your dad?
Love alone, love always. That's our main thing, and never let them see you sweat.
Got you.
Yeah, that's our motto right there. Never let them see you sweat.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
For the young and upcoming young man, a gentleman who isn't blessed to have the relationship that you have with your father, as well as your brothers, what would you say to that young man who's perhaps missing that figure?
At the end of the day, as I say, I'm always blessed to have my parents and my brothers and the relationships that I have with them. I I know certain individuals who may have that, but they're not, they have their parents in their life, or their parents are there, but they're not in their lives and stuff like that. At the end of the day, man, like you have to be the person that you want to be. Like, like, my dad, growing up, he didn't have his father in his life, but the love that he showed us reflected the father that he wanted to be. You understand?
Understood.
So he was the change that he needed to be for us to be the young men that we are today.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
Wonderful. When you think of the next generation of leaders and leading in different industries, so yours is IT, what would you say to the up and coming young man who perhaps has not yet identified what they want to do? They haven't zoned in on a niche, still trying to figure it out. But outside of that, leading in your vocation is by far one of the most impactful things that you can do, which you are. What would you say to that young man who is a little bit apprehensive or not sure?
At the end of the day, to lead, you have to fail. You have to fail. That's when you understand, okay, well, these are the mistakes that I made. That's why I said, with your flaws, in order for you to understand where you want to go, you have to set simple goals. So say for instance, for example, yesterday, if I lost my temper in a meeting or something, today comes and I say, okay, well, learn from my mistakes yesterday. I don't want to be that type of person. I want to be the type of person where I keep level, I have a level mind, I keep level-minded, and I want to, approach situations at a different perspective. That's when, you retract and be like, okay, let me listen to understand where this person is coming from, instead of just, right out outbursting or getting upset. So I say all of that to say, at the end of the day, you have to understand your flaws. If you want to lead, you have to understand what type of leader you are. You have to understand where your flaws are. How do you impact someone in their life? Is it are your strengths? Because at the end of the day, you know what your strengths are. You fully well know what your strengths are, but your weaknesses, your flaws, that's why I said that's what makes you. Because at the end of the day, if all of us were perfect and all of us didn't have any weaknesses, we would have just been all the same.
Agreed.
And there wouldn't be no identity. Like, no one would have an identity. So I would have been the same like you would have been the same like me.
Correct.
And that's why I say you have to understand your flaws in order for you to push yourself and progress and understand where you want to be. So one of the things that I do, I always set like simple goals for myself. So say for instance, if my main goal is to be, owner of an IT company one day, I have to set simple goals. So first goal, get an IT degree. Second goal, get certifications. Third goal, get the experience. So I'm in the field. Then continue building on that. How, and because at the end of the day, you can't just jump from, okay, well, I have the degree, so now I want to go do the job. So now you want to own a company. You can't do it like that. You need to build your experiences, build your life, have certain things going on, and understanding. Okay, well, these are my weaknesses within the field of IT. So if I want to have a successful IT business, I need to have people who are business minded as well. If I'm not too business oriented, then I need to have people who are business minded. If I am business minded and I don't have the technical side, then I need people who are technical. That's all. So you understand your flaws. You understand, where you might be lacking, and then you build upon that. You surround yourself with individuals who are like-minded, who have that drive, who have that passion to want to be better. And I feel as though that's like the main key for being a leader. Like, you surround yourself with the people who want to be leaders, who want to, have the, that drive to succeed and win. So
love it. When you look at the arena of the British Fortune Islands and the development of the country, as I said earlier, IT perhaps is one of the most important aspects all across the board, right? Especially when it comes to business. What would you say though to someone who is interested in getting into the information technology field?
I'm gonna say it is a bit, how can I say it? it's not hard. I want to say that it's hard or difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to have the patience with it. You have to have a lot of patience because certain things are going to take you like hours to complete. Um, certain situations, at the end of the day, you have to troubleshoot. Like IT is a form of just troubleshooting and problem solving. That's literally what it is. Because if machines were made and they had no flaws and everything was running perfectly, there would be no need for IT profession field. Then you would just literally just build a machine, have it, and there's no like technical support, anything like that. But at the end of the day, it's man-made. As I said, everything with man has flaws. So,
we're the problem.
yeah. So, in the IT field, I would encourage you to go, like, if you're really interested in it, go and look up, certain degrees, certain programs. I mean, there's cybersecurity, there's programming, there's coding, website development, just technical support. You could go into hardware, which is, just building, the physical components of a computer. You could go into software development. There's so much within the ITV that is so vast that, something might just catch your eye and you're really interested in that and you want to learn it. So I'd say just at the end of the day, research is number one. Is the number one key. Number two is patience. And number three is understanding that you will have to have some sort of problem solving identity. So you need to be able to do research, watch videos, read books, just to understand, read books, read articles, just to understand and see, well, okay, this is the issue that I'm having. So to see, because at the end of the day, IT is the type of thing where, trust me, you're not the only one that has encountered it. Everyone has encountered some problem, some sort of problem before. So there's always something out there on the internet, and that's your best friend, the internet.
So one of the things, and I appreciate you, thank you for that advice. One of the things that I find very interesting and intriguing now more than ever is, and I'm grateful for it, because there was a time when it wasn't spoken about. Like, take for example, coding. That was not something that necessarily persons would encourage their children to be in. Everybody likes to play video games, but not understanding that somebody has to write the video game, somebody has to design it, somebody has to create it. When you look back now, from when you were in high school, and observe that there are students, whether it's in the public or private school, who are being exposed to coding and given an opportunity to dibble and dabble in it. How does that make you feel to know that it's now a thing?
It's good. I mean, it's good. It's as you said, the world is changing. So with the advancement of the world and how technology is advancing, jobs are becoming more and more, how can I say, more demanding in the IT realm. So you need to have that exposure from a young age, and I feel as though that's a really, really good thing. I wish I had that when I was growing up, but at the end of the day, so the kids, the individuals who are doing this now from an early age, I would say continue pushing, continue doing that, because trust me, they're gonna make robots who can do most of these jobs. Like law, for example, soon in the near future, or maybe in the near future or a couple of years from now, they'll have robots being like lawyers, writing laws and stuff. Being able to officiate games and all that stuff. Like, because at the end of the day, it's AI.
Right.
And right now we're in basically the testing phase. Yeah, we're in the testing phase where AI is literally just there collecting data. So you give AI a couple, 2 years, man, it's gonna be a different world. It scares me. It scares me because I like IT. I love our technology and everything, but it's going too far, too fast, too fast for me. Right.
Understood.
Yeah.
Like, slow down.
Yeah, slow a bit.
I totally get it. I got some fun questions for you, which I always ask my guests. Being a Virgin Islander, your favorite sister island?
Favorite sister island, Virgin Gorda.
Okay. What's your favorite pastime?
Favorite pastime, I would say playing sports, playing
Okay.
basketball.
Okay. Local food that you enjoy.
Fish in mayonnaise sauce.
Excellent choice. A local drink. It could be alcoholic or non-alcoholic.
Mobby.
Good choice. Good choice. If you could take someone from Virgin Islands yesteryear, that just means that the person has passed away. They're no longer with us. If you could take anyone to breakfast or lunch and have a chat with them, who would that be and why?
My uncle.
Hmm.
My uncle, he passed. Uncle Ray Hanley.
Okay.
We call him Rub Dub.
Okay.
Yeah. He passed 2023. So that's one person I would wish that I could have
an opportunity
to meet again.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, that's my mom's brother. He was like the uncle when you want to have fun, just do whatever.
That's the guy.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Exceptional,
That's the
exceptional. Lelan, I want to take this opportunity for not only to thank you for not only gracing us with this on the set and having a conversation with us, but I want to thank you for being just a good and you're from good stock, so it comes from somewhere, but just a good, decent young professional. You are definitely someone that has solidified the space, and you continue to do really, really impeccable work. And for that, the Art of a Distinguished Gentleman simply salutes you, respect you. Keep doing the damn thing.
Thanks.
We appreciate it. And thanks, of course, for gracing us with your set and concluding season 7 of the Art of a Distinguished Gentleman. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you for having me.
You're most welcome. Viewers, that is it. That is a wrap. Season 7 is behind us. You got an opportunity to sit down alongside with me, interviewing and speaking and hearing the amazing stories of 13 of the best and brightest in these Virgin Islands. One of the things that I loved about this season is it featured, of course, a balance, but mostly young professionals within their fields. You heard from creative directors, cinematographers, IT and cybersecurity. You heard from contractors. You heard from a myriad of various industries of persons who are really contributing to the core fabric of this beautiful Virgin Islands. I am humbled and I appreciate each of you for your love and support. Season 7. I'll see you another time.